But it wasn't my blood alcohol level because I don't drink. I don't drink at all, y'all. And actually, if you look over the whole form, look at each case, you're going and look at the blood alcohol, you're going to see 0.16 in every single case. It is impossible for a person to maintain a blood alcohol level of the same number year after year after year after year. And remember, the black type lettering is what was put in the form. The blue type lettering was already in the form. So I would like Jesse Martinez and Keith Alvin to stand up and fly right. You lied. I have never received a DUI charge. Ever. Trying to please Tony Smith, you spent so much time condemning me for breaking man's law that you broke God's law. So you lied.
Files accessed.
Transfer of data is complete.
Now, let's talk about the prostitution situation. Let's talk about how it got there. It all happened when I was driving down a street in Greenville, North Carolina. And I saw a young white girl walking down the street crying and wiping her face. At first, I passed her a little bit, but decided to stop to at least ask if she needed some help or if she was okay. When she walked by, I saw that her lip was busted, and I asked if she was okay. She had told me that her boyfriend had beat her up, threw her out the house, and she had nowhere to go. I gave her a napkin that I had gotten from McDonald's to wipe her lip. She said she was thirsty, so I offered to buy her, something to drink and a ride. After buying her an apple juice, we rode around for about 5 minutes or so while she was giving me the short version of what had happened to her. I asked if she had any family in town that I could drop her off at. She said no. She said that she was from New York and needed money to get back home. I just said to her that I wish that I could help her, but I just did not have the funds at the time. But then I began to talk about life in general and managed to slip Christ in the conversation. I decided to park, and the most appropriate place was in the driveway of this small local church. We were in the driveway. We sat there for about 1 minute when all of a sudden blue lights flashed behind my vehicle. 2 squad cars and 3 policemen. Others came later. Now, we were both handcuffed, sat in the police cars. We were both badgered almost to death as the policeman tried to get us to admit that we were there to have sex. And I was like, are you kidding? Do you not see where we are parked? One officer said to me, do you know that she is a local prostitute? And I said, no, I did not know that. I just saw her crying down the street with a busted lip, and I offered her a ride. One officer lied to the young lady and told her that if she confessed, he would let her go. She was crying like crazy. She told him that I was preaching to her, that I used the word witnessing. They did not believe either of us and kept threatening to take us both to jail. Finally, after sitting there for about 20 minutes or so, the girl told one of the officers that I offered her $20 to have sex with her. I did not even flinch. I just told the police, she told you that because one of your officers said to her that he would let her go if she confessed. Make a long story short, we were both arrested. I was bailed out within about 30 to 40 minutes, but the girl, having no one to comfort her, she ended up having to stay. The court case was continued several times because either the officers or one of the officers could not show up, and once because the DA could not show. On the last continued court date, everyone showed, and when it was time for the young lady to tell her side of the story, she said to the judge, Your Honor, he was preaching to me. He gave me a napkin for my lip, apple juice to drink, and preached about the Lord. He did not do anything wrong. Those were her words. The judge then asked her why she lied. Why did you lie then? She said, pointing to the officer that told her that if she confessed that he let her go, she told that to the judge. So, and then she said, so because they did not believe the truth, I made up a lie in hopes that they would release me. After all was said and done, and because the DA and the officers could not prove their case, the judge asked me, Mr. Hill, is there anything that you would like to say? And I said, no, Your Honor. Then he said, in light of the lack of evidence against this man and because of this young lady's testimony, I am dismissing this case. Mr. Hill, you are free to go and keep up the good work. When I turned around, everybody in the audience was smiling at me. I only spoke 6 words at the entire trial. Not guilty, and thank you, Your Honor, with no lawyer. I want to leave with this one last note. Individuals like Precuring, who is a member of TWOGC, called me a false prophet because of my past criminal record. You saw yourself it was all misdemeanors, and you saw that the ones that stuck were the traffic tickets. You have it in your hand. You have it on the screen. Here's my question to Precuring and all the rest of the idiots down there at TWOGC. If I'm a false prophet because of my misdemeanor traffic offenses, then what does that make Tony Smith, who has multiple felonies on his criminal record? But when you got to go dig in somebody's past, when you know that every last one of us has a past, it only makes you look pathetic.